Hi, folks. Today I want to talk about why we worship this man, Jesus. Like, what right does he have to that? What crowns are due to Jesus? Well, first, he has the crown of being with God in the beginning, or in other words, being God in the beginning. But why? Maybe Jesus was just one great figure in history, and there are many others. Why do Christians attach this assertion to Jesus that he was with God in the beginning? How do we know that? How do we know something happened before the universe was created? It's like in a realm which nobody can really verify. Well, just go with it for a second, okay? I know it sounds like a stretch, but we got number two here coming. The crown, secondly, comes to him of having created heaven and earth. Because if he was with God in the beginning, if he was uncreated, then he must necessarily be the creator. But again, doesn't that sound like something coming from a realm that we just can't verify? Like, what warrants that assertion? Well, just hang tight. You'll see in a second here. Third, Jesus has the crown of obeying God his Father to the utmost. Now, here's where we're actually passing out of the realm that has no way to verify into a realm where there are witnesses. It gets closer to you and to me, right? This person, the Son of God, came down out of the heavenly realms onto the earthly realm and became man. At that time, he became someone you could know, someone you could witness. And what did his acquaintances witness? Well, they witnessed a man who was in perfect step with the noble character of God. And in effect, after having a hand in creating the universe, he then acquires the crown of conforming to God's standards from within that universe. So that the personality of God really is not complete unless it entails a fully human life. Moving on, we have now the crown of Jesus' love. That he has loved us so much in that human life. This is getting closer to you and me, isn't it? This crown is due to Jesus, not merely that he perfectly obeyed his Father, but that perfect obedience consists in a perfect love for the human race. So finally, this is touching you and me. Jesus' love for humanity, remember, it encompassed the poor, the sick, the crippled, the hated, the evil. And that's the kind of love you and I have been trying to find our entire life. And it's him. Jesus acquires the crown now of dying for the sins of the world. See, it gets even better. We had said that the love of Jesus for the world would not be complete unless it entailed a human life. But guess what? The human life entails suffering and death. And since there was no imperfection in Jesus for which to suffer and die, his suffering and death was again generated out of this infinite love for sinners. He suffers and dies to make satisfaction for the guilt of the human race. And that's the crown that I'm actually putting on Jesus' head, right? Because that's the crown where I need him the most. I can begin to know God with this crown. Not up here where no one can access him, no one can claim him as their own, but here I can say, God is mine. He does this for me. He does not count my guilt against me. He's on my side. And now that this crown is aligned with the others, you can kind of see these through the lens of those, right? But we're not done yet. We've got 7, almost done. Of course, after Jesus dies, he raises himself from the dead. God raises him from the dead. He gets a crown then of being the first to conquer death through death. He's the first to be raised with an incorruptible body, and he will be the head of a new human race, which will only appear on that day when our bodies are also raised from the grave. And finally, here's the last one. Jesus' crown includes the fact that he has been ascended into the heavens, where he rules heaven and earth as one of us, as a human being. And he will return with great glory to make the final judgment the judgment will be in accordance with all these things we've just covered. So Jesus returns to his heavenly glory after having made an appearance among us and united God with us. So this is the basic pattern of the Christian life. There is a descent from heaven unto hell, essentially, where our life begins, and an ascending up back to God. You too will not find comfort and glory in this life until first you have gone through suffering and death. And then you'll have your crown too. So that's why we have Jesus meriting these crowns in all that he is and all that he does. Thank you.